Unpopular Opinions episode 12. When people break up and get back together, the relationship length counter should reset back to day one. I actually do like that a lot. I feel like there's a lot of like toxic relationships that act as if they're perfect, only posting the good in the relationship, when in reality people know, like I guess their friends know, that it is very fucking toxic, and that they break up and then rekindle back again and then break up again and all that shit. I just think this is really fun, and it should really reset back to day one. I feel like this would also help toxic relationships and be like, damn, like this is the fourth time we're restarting the relationship on day one this month. I feel like this would really help people realize that, damn, this relationship is toxic and we should not be together. So I actually do really agree with this. Next one is, we need to normalize using stuffed animals. Yo, what? Stuffed animals are comfy, provide excellent structural support for sleep, and make you fall asleep easier. I don't see why it's longer socially acceptable to use them once you're old enough, especially in our anxiety-ridden society. I use a Squishmallow Dragonite. I was hesitant to buy it at first, but it's a literal life changer once you get over the stigma. So I'm not gonna lie, when I first read this, I thought he wanted to use stuffed animals for another reason, but it's a more simple reason for sure. But yeah, nothing's stopping you from using a stuffed animal. You can, like, it's just your insecurities that's stopping you from buying a stuffed animal. You being an adult, nothing's stopping you. You can do whatever you want. You're an adult. Also, you can also fuck stuffed animals. It should be way more socially acceptable to forget the names of someone's partner / kids / pets. I've always been good with remembering faces, but only half decent in remembering names. Even so, why do 8% of my coworkers judge me for forgetting their son's name? I'm not thinking about your kid often. That's probably a good thing. And Phil, I'm sorry that I keep forgetting your girlfriend's name, Mary Beth, which is probably also wrong, whom you always call a baby when you're around us anyway. Yeah, I kind of already agree with this statement. I think it's fine. Some people are really bad with names. Some people just have really bad memory. They can't remember every single fucking name that someone has told you. Me, on the other hand, I'm perfect. I remember everything. So I'm alpha like that. Being 6'3", weighing 220 pounds, 8 inches. No, I'm just kidding. In reality, I think it's perfectly normal. I don't really think it's dickish. I don't think people are trying to forget their names. I just think people just can't really, remember the names. Maybe you may have to tell like maybe 4 more times or 5 more times until they actually start remembering it. I think it's fine if someone forgets my name. It's cool. Doesn't really matter. So I think it should be socially more acceptable. The next one is, being constantly available via text is ruining real friendships. I don't think people are meant to be this reachable. If I don't respond within an hour, I'm seen as rude or distant. Friendships are turning into text response times instead of real connection. I miss when it was okay to just exist without a notification. I don't think being available for a text is ruining real friendships. I think this person is being a little bit over dramatic. Your friend will text you just saying just try to catch up, or most of the time I feel like your friends will just send you a meme and that's really it. And a lot of times I feel like people understand that, like, no one's gonna respond super quick unless it has to be something that they want to respond super quick. If it's like a meme, I don't think you're expecting, if you send your friend a meme, I don't think you're expecting him to respond. I mean, you'd be like, oh, haha, that's so funny, all that shit. When my friends send me memes, I kind of respond like 5 hours later or so, like that, or even the next day, or even like 3 days later, all that stuff. But I still love them to death, right? If they ask me if they're trying to hang out or they tell me something important, I will respond and I will read it that instant and, respond, give them my opinion, all that stuff. But if it's like casual things, then I think it's fine. And I think a lot of people are cool with that, I think real friends respond when they need to, when they know they need to respond fast. And other times they'll respond because they don't think it's that important. And I think the other side also don't really think it's that important, and it's fine if they don't respond. At least that's how I see it. The next one is, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. jobs are better than 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. ones. Obviously, it depends on the lifestyle of each household, but ideally 6 to 2 is the perfect combination. You get everything done early, avoid most traffic, and have more time for happy hours than usually begin around 2 or 3. The main drawbacks is if you have a family duties such as school drop-off, though school pickup is easier, or if you are not an early bird and do really thrive more at night. This really just depends on what time works with you and what's better for your schedule. This person like 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's a little bit too crazy. I do understand the appease and getting out at 2 p.m. so be able to access, maybe jobs or just other stores that normally close at 5 when you get out at 5 p.m. So I do see the appease and getting out at 2 p.m. 6 a.m. is a little bit too early for me. Holy I sleep in late all the time. I'm making this video at 1:26 a.m. So I think for me personally, I probably would prefer maybe 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. I think that's really good, just because you don't really start up too early and you don't really get out too late and still have time for everything else. Honestly, 4 is not even that bad either. If I go in at 8, right? 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's honestly not that bad either. I kind of like that even more. But in reality, this all just goes down to your personal preference. Also, I think I would just prefer not working at all. The next one is, there's rarely a bad reason to leaving a relationship. This one is going to be super interesting. If we are going to evolve, then so should our norms. I don't understand how people can get hated on for breaking up with their partner for something that isn't universal. I may not agree with you and your reason, but if you break up with someone and decide to keep it that way, that you made the right decision. Things like for true love, you adapt is bullshit. If your partner doesn't do what you want, then leaving is the right option. Find someone who's okay with that. Find someone who's okay with what you want rather than subconsciously stressing your partner to something they don't want to do. Okay, so I think this is a really interesting topic. I might talk a little bit longer on this one than the other ones. When it comes to relationship, I feel like there are kind of shallow ways that you go about breaking up with someone. There's some of them are petty and all that stuff, or very shallow. You know, sometimes people break up with someone just because maybe they found out that they're like, I don't know, maybe they become physically disabled, maybe they lose an arm, or maybe they lose like a leg and all that stuff, so it's really hard to take care of and all that stuff. And I don't know, some people are shallow like that, where they will decide to break up with them or divorce and all that stuff. That is dickish, but I mean, to be fair, like, it's really what they want to do. You can break up with someone any way you want to. That doesn't mean I won't criticize or judge you on why you broke up with someone. Like I said, if you do something like that where they become physically disabled and you just don't want to be a part of that shit because you feel like it's gonna be too hard on you, all that stuff, yes, that's dickish, but you can do that, and hopefully that person who got divorced or broken up with finds someone better who will stick with them, that will help them out, rather than that fucking douchebag who did leave them. So yeah, is there really a bad reason for leaving someone? Yes, but you can leave them for whatever you want. It's really you know, like, it's just, if you break up, it's probably for a reason most of the time, right? And like I said, it could be super shallow, it could be a dickish thing to do, but I think, I don't know, this is a really tough one, you know? Yeah, you could just break up for whatever fucking reason, but that doesn't mean it's not gonna stop me from judging you, or stop me from looking at you as a bad person, all that stuff. Because I will look at you as a bad person for breaking up for that person for some stupid ass fucking reason. But hey, you did that. But that leaves that other person better off to find someone better, because fuck you, you're a dick for that shit. So, in a way, I guess I do agree. There's really not a bad reason. Well, I mean, there are bad reasons, but anyone can break up with anyone for anything. And that's just how life goes. That's just how it is. But yeah, this one was a little short. Maybe because I kind of speed ran through this one. But I did have a lot of fun making this one. I do find these opinions very interesting. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.